What's going on, Star Wars fandom? Welcome to LightSaber Radio, the most outrageous Star Wars show on the web. Today we're going to tackle a fascinating question. What if Star Wars characters could replace the presidents on Mount Rushmore? It's a fun and creative thought experiment that allows us to combine two iconic symbols of American culture. Mount Rushmore, with its massive presidential sculptures, have long been a symbol of American democracy and history. Meanwhile, the Star Wars universe is captivating audiences worldwide with its epic tales of heroes, villains, and adventures. So in this video, we're going to explore which Star Wars characters would make the cut and why. But first, we got to drop that intro.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
At last we will reveal ourselves.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. If you only knew the power of Darth.
Here it comes.
Let's go.
You are now tuned into LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
So what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? We got Star Wars team leader in the chat. Chris is in the chat. And I'm pretty sure everybody else. I kind of put the thing out pretty early, so I'm guessing that everybody didn't get their things. I don't know what it is. When I put it out early, the people get notifications, but then they forget about it or something because it doesn't. Everybody forgets to come and then everybody joins in like 10 minutes after we start. But it's all right.
I know.
It's all good.
But we do have an announcement. CJ and Tori have left the show. They're no longer going to be with us.
No,
I'm
they
just kidding.
didn't.
April Fools, bitch.
They're
April
actually at
Fools.
Ohio
I had
Comic-Con.
to. I had to.
They're repping Ohio Comic-Con today. They're gonna be there. They might join in on the show. Okay, wait a minute. We got to fix this. I don't like this background. This background is kind of like throwing me the hell off. It's like it's
Too orange.
It's like so much orange in there. Like Jesus, this is a lot of orange. Let's go with let's see here. This one looks good. We'll do this one. Okay.
That works.
Yeah, that was a lot of orange in there. I was like, God damn, I'm getting orange blind here. Okay, so today's show is going to be it's going to be a difficult one. Because when it comes to picking Star Wars character to replace the presidents that changed the entire world, they have to have done some changes in the galaxy. You know, they had to be influential. They had to change the game. And then on the other hand, there's always our personal opinion. That the people that we would choose just because we like them. So the first, we're going to select our personal Mount Star Wars. You know, who would we choose? And we're going to break down the people that we think that are based on our personal opinions. And then we're going to do influence. And then we might do, you know, like the top 4 Jedis that would be up there, top 4 Siths or whatever. But first, we're going to give our opinions of our personal opinion, who you think that should be up there. And then we're going to give our opinion based on how much they influenced it. But before we get to all that, we have a tradition here at LSR. If you've listened for a while, you know that we got to, you know, do something to get them outrageous. Juice is fluent. I can't talk. Why the hell can I talk? Our form of icebreaker. We call it the Hothbreaker. Pun the Empire Strikes Back. Pun intended. And first, you know, basically, we got to, you know, we just got to get our outrageous juices flowing. So,
Here we go.
Garrison, going to give us a Hothbreaker. And we're going to give us some outrageous responses. So everybody in the chat, definitely join in.
Let's do it. All right. So in light of this Mount Rushmore thing that we're doing, if you had, I mean, the Mount Rushmore presidents didn't have supreme power, but if you had supreme ultimate power, almost godlike power, what's one thing, you can only change one thing, what's one thing you would change in the Star Wars galaxy? Besides more hookers, Kyle.
I will become the emperor, and I will control the galaxy. And then one of the laws that I will put into effect, if you're a female, you got to have a baby by me. So so I can just repopulate the
Jeez,
galaxy
bro.
in my image.
That sounds like flipping what's that? Braveheart.
I want everybody to be a little Darth Sways.
If I remember correctly, that was like the beginning of Braveheart. That was one of the reasons they all flipping revolted. Flipping having to have babies with the ugly emperor, ugly king.
Hey, but once I put on the costume, I'm not ugly no more. I'm just kind of cut up and old.
I think I'd get rid of Coruscant. I'd blow up
Get rid of Coruscant?
Just snap. All the people on Coruscant are annoying. I don't like Coruscant. Just
That's
big
one of the
cities
things
are
I
just
didn't
not
ever understand. Like, if I was Palpatine and I had the Death Star, why would you blow up Alderaan?
like the most
Alderaan.
pretty planet. Blow up Coruscant. It's an
Blow
ugly
up
cesspool
Coruscant with all the
anyways.
corrupt ass people that are just going to be doing shit behind your back, and they're all corrupt.
Yeah.
We know they're all corrupt. Everybody on Coruscant, excuse me, is corrupt.
Yeah.
Just blow up Coruscant.
Ugly. Especially now that we're seeing like episodes of Mandalorian with how ugly Coruscant is. Yeah, dude, get rid of Coruscant. It looks gross.
It's just a giant,
Giant city.
You could even a whole
maybe
planet
that's
of city.
me.
You
I
could
just
even
don't like
visit
big cities,
everything in
so.
Coruscant in your lifetime because there's so much shit on Coruscant.
Yeah,
That's what I would have done. I'd have blown up Coruscant.
Cities, so.
If I was Palpatine, I'd have just, because all the corruption there, everybody's always stabbing each other in the back. And just
Fake
get
ass
rid of all of them
people.
at one time. You
Yeah.
kill all the senators. You kill all. You take out everything. Just everything is just gone, and then you just start over from scratch. Build it in the image of the Empire. Okay, so Dr. Kari's in the chat. Let's see what we got going on here. Chris said it's not April Fool's. We got 10 inches of snow last night. I'm sorry.
No, it is April Fool's. Go outside, try to taste it. It's cotton candy.
Chris says Stormtrooper were actually more competent. Would make things a little more interesting if rebels were actually fighting dangerous soldiers.
Oh, so if you can make... That's a good point.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's fair.
That would make them where they could shoot straight, because I don't know what it is. Well, we do know what it is. It's the masks. It's the helmets that they're wearing, and because we know that Rex can shoot.
No.
And in Rebels, he couldn't hit shit, and Kanan tells him, I ain't got to worry about you because you shoot like a stormtrooper. And he was like, it's this damn mask. I can't see shit. So, yeah, it's definitely the mask.
It's
It
stupid
wasn't their
plot
fault. It
armor
was
is
the
what
mask.
it is.
It was a mask. They intentionally made them where they couldn't shoot. They figured if they had enough of them, they all just shoot in different directions. They're going to hit something sooner or later. The problem is when you got 40 stormtroopers chasing you and can't one of them hit you, it just made really easy for the rebels to take over. That's why the rebels won, because all the stormtroopers couldn't shoot. They sucked.
They were terrible. Yeah.
they were terrible. That was a whole thing. Okay. Or we should it, or just a shoulder weapon. Whoever taught them hip fire was more effective should be fired. Yeah.
Yeah,
They should have given like a Terminator thing with a damn laser pointer on it. You think it's Star Wars.
Dude,
we have laser
exactly.
pointers, and we're like
Bro,
nowhere technically
a laser
involved.
pointer. That would have been so easy. Then you can
Like-
hit fire all you want because you can see the fucking laser.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We're not even as technologically advanced as Star Wars, and they didn't have lasers to point at shit. We have lasers that point at shit that the bullet hits right where the laser is at. So why they couldn't figure that out for, stormtroopers? It would have been way more. I still don't get that. Like, why couldn't stormtroopers hit shit, but like Obi-Wan says it in New Hope. He said, this is too accurate to be saying people, it must have been Imperial stormtroopers. Like, they're not accurate. That didn't make no sense at all. That was like the
are you
most
sure?
inaccurate statement ever about what's going on infected. It was just terrible. So, we're going to be doing a giveaway. This is kind of an announcement. I was going to announce it at the end of the show, but
April Fool's.
part of it's not April Fool's. This is actually the truth. One of the things that my doctors told me that I need to do to help with my cognitive abilities is do puzzles. So I've been doing these damn puzzles. So we're going to give away one of the puzzles. I'm going to autograph it and everything, and we're going to get that away. We'll announce how we're going to do the giveaway. I haven't figured it out yet. But I got some of the puzzles done, so I'm going to autograph them, and we will send them to you. whoever wins will get it sent out to whoever wins it, and you guys can keep it, and it'll be there for after I die. Then it'll be important because it's not important now because I'm not nobody. But after I die, I'll be somebody. You ain't nobody till somebody kills you. Ain't that what Big Papa said about Tupac? Biggie Smalls said that about Tupac. You wasn't nobody until somebody killed you. Yeah, so when I die, then it'll be worth something. Right now, it ain't worth shit, but it'll be a nice giveaway. And I have to do all these puzzles, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to give them away because I don't have nowhere to put them at all. I don't have nowhere on my walls to put none of these puzzles. I got all these puzzles, and they will be done and framed and everything, so hopefully they make them to you safely. But we're going to do giveaways doing that. I thought that would be a nice thing to give to you guys. And then maybe we'll get Garrison to do some puzzles, and he can autograph them and send them to you guys and see.
I hate puzzles, but sure.
I hate puzzles too, but hey, it's good for. I mean, it's
I
one
like,
of the
like
best cognitive
logic
things,
puzzles
I guess.
and shit, like Wordle. I like Wordle.
Wordle. What
Wordle's
the hell
fun.
is Wordle?
You don't do Wordle?
What the hell is Wordle? I ain't ever even heard
Oh
of Wordle.
my gosh. It's like on New York Times, it's Wordle. So like you get like 5 letters to here. I'll share it. Wordle. I guess we're doing Wordle on LightSaber Radio today.
Okay, make sure it's Star Wars based. No, I'm joking.
It's not Star Wars. It's not Star Wars. Okay. How do I share my screen again?
You hit the present on the bottom.
Yep, share screen.
And then share screen. It'll say you can square your screen or the whatever your web thing. It gives you like a.
All right, can you see it? Yep, that's it. This is Wordle. So what you do is you start with the word, right? So I usually start with this one.
Okay, I can't see the top. What does it say?
Okay.
Slate.
So a gray letter means that letter is not in the word. Okay.
Okay.
A yellow letter means that letter's in the word, but it's in the wrong spot. And then if you get a green letter, it is like right letter, right spot. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
So you got to come up with a word that has an A in it.
Yes.
It's 5 letters.
5 letters.
And that A could be anywhere.
Yes.
And it could be anywhere with it. Dude, you know how hard that is?
That's why I like it, dude. This is what I play.
Later. I don't have an L in it.
Yeah, it doesn't have an L.
Shit.
Right?
Man, you know how many. Okay, get off of this shit. This is making my brain hurt.
He's like, I don't like it. Yeah, you see what I mean? That's
dude.
like,
That's some. Now, if they was all Star Wars like characters or words or something like that, I might be able to do it. But I can't do this. This is ridiculous. Yeah. No. Okay, get off of there. That's just hurting my head. That's just hurting my eye.
R. Hold on. You see that? You see? I'm amazing.
What did you just say? What is that? Manner?
Yep. A-R-C-H. Bo, got it in 3 tries, fool. I've never played it on my laptop before. I usually play it on my phone. But yeah,
all right,
that's
get
Wordle.
off of this thing. This makes my brain hurt. Well, the next word is March. Because they're all green and they're all in the right place. So that's not too hard.
No, so I got it. No, yeah, it was hard because I don't know. But that's like my puzzles. I don't like regular puzzles. Ugh.
Like I'm talking about like puzzles you put together that's a picture.
Yeah, I know. I don't like those.
I got like 1,000 puzzles because when they told me to do that, my wife just went out and bought like a grip of puzzles. So I don't like this setting. Let's see. I like this one. I like this one. No. I guess we'll use this one. This was fine shit. But yeah, right. I don't know. I don't like, I mean, they bought me a grip of puzzles. But what pissed me off is I did this puzzle. I got all the whole puzzle done and it was missing 3 pieces. I was pissed off. I was so mad. It was a Star Wars puzzle. All my puzzles are Star Wars puzzles. I told them don't buy me nothing but Star Wars puzzles. So I got everything done. It's the one where it's got like the whole cast and everybody in the background. It got like Darth Maul holding his double-bladed lightsaber across the middle of it. I got it all done, that whole poster. Got it all done and was missing 3 pieces. I was pissed. I was like, dude, I worked on that shit for like 2 weeks. I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, dude.
But I'll put them in a frame. I'll hook them up for everybody. You know, I got them in frames. They'll be all hooked up. So I'm gonna give them away to everybody. I want the fans to have them. They're cool posters, or they're basically posters now. Oh shit! I gotta turn off the volume on my phone. It's over here making noise. It's over here making repetitive noise.
So are we getting to the thing?
Yeah.
Right.
We'll talk.
Let's do it.
Okay, so
well, first off, do you know who's on like the actual Mount Rushmore? Because I feel like a lot of people don't actually know.
it's you got Washington, Lincoln, it's Washington, Lincoln, freaking Franklin. Is it Benjamin Franklin?
No,
Because he wasn't the president. I know it's Washington, Lincoln.
Yeah. Then Theodore Roosevelt,
and
then Jefferson.
And Jefferson. Roosevelt was the last one that they put on there.
Yeah.
He was the last president.
Which Roosevelt was a badass dude. He was cool.
Well, he changed the entire world. He dropped the atom bomb on people.
What are you talking about? That was Franklin Roosevelt.
Oh, was it? Hey, how many damn President Roosevelts have we had? Like 3 or 4?
Yeah, that was Franklin Roosevelt with World War II.
But yeah, so I don't know. Shit. Fuck. I know Abraham Lincoln and George Washington's on there. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, those are the 2 big guys. So, I mean, like the 2 ones that everybody knows. Well, not even everybody.
Yeah,
have you seen some of those things? Like,
most people say Washington. Washington, everybody knows that he's the first president of the United States. Of course, he's up there. But when you ask other people, and the only reason I knew Abraham Lincoln was on there because I just looked at it earlier. I didn't even know where Abraham Lincoln was on there. I was like, oh, really? Lincoln's on here? I didn't know it was Lincoln. I thought it was like the first 4 presidents or so. Like,
like in a row?
Yeah, I didn't know Abraham Lincoln. I don't know shit about Mount. When it comes to history, I don't know shit about history. I suck at history.
Dude,
that's going to be our quiz next week.
I know. Because I made because Mount Rushmore, I was going to do like a Star Wars history hybrid to see what we know more of. But because the other 2 aren't
so that's
here,
going to be the quiz
we're
next
postpone
week.
It. Yeah.
He's gonna kill us with that shit. Because really today we're not doing a quiz. We're gonna do some. We're just gonna do some quizzes, polls, and stuff on StarWars.com. See what we know. Because it's just the 2 of us. It's kind of harder when it's not enough people here. I thought about doing it and just having just the chat do it. But I think that I want to dedicate a show to just that and get it a day that I know everybody, because I know some people couldn't make it to the show today. I got some emails and stuff to saying some people couldn't make it today. So I want everybody that's always on the show in the chat here, and then all of us here, where we can sit back and because I don't know. We got some hard hitters here that when it comes to some Star Wars knowledge. So I think some people are going to be banging to get the right. So I want to do a complete show about that, but we're going to do that probably in the summertime. I was thinking about that as a show in the summer, so we'll get to that. All right. So the premise of today's show is what people will we put on the thing. So personally, we're going to start with the personally. Who personally you would put on Mount Rushmore? So
like my favorite.
Yeah, like my favorite characters. Well, I wouldn't even say my favorite characters, because some of the characters, it's not because it's my favorite, just because it makes more sense to me. Because they got to be like influential characters. They can't just be some random fucking Star Wars character that you just put up there just because you like that character, and he didn't do shit. Like, he didn't do shit to influence.
I feel
the
like
galaxy.
my like personal and my like influential are going to be pretty similar.
I know some of mine on my personal and influential, but you also got to give a reason why you would put them up there.
Yeah,
not just naming them off.
For sure.
So like, okay, my first.
I accept your terms.
my first where would take over George Washington would be Lord Vitian.
What?
Hell yeah, Lord Vitian is going to take over. Okay, He is
Bro,
one of the most
but that, you can't
powerful
do
force
Legends.
sensitive beings
Hold on, hold on.
Listen.
Legends is like, oh, he wasn't actually a president because he's just a legend, so he never actually existed, but he should be up there.
No, because we're going off of Legends and canon, and technically,
we are?
Lord Vicious he's in the games, so he's
That's fair.
technically
that
canon.
counts. That counts. Okay.
He counts. So technically, he's canon. But I'm going off of Legends and canon characters because there's just too many dope ass characters.
Damn.
I said Vicious because he's one of the most powerful force sensitive beings that ever lived. After he killed his father at 10 years old with just a thought. He just thought about it and his dad died. He like ruptured his brain or something. Over the next century, he assumed overwhelming knowledge of Sith alchemy and Sith and magic. Then he convinced 8,000 Sith lords
to kill themselves.
do this damn thing that he wiped out an entire planet. He just sucked the life force out of the entire planet, which caused him to gain immortality. And then he turned Revan to the dark side with just a thought. He just thought about it and Revan turned to the dark side. That's dope as shit. And Revan did a lot of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Since he did that shit, since Revan is such an influential character, technically, him being, Vicious doing that changed the whole outcome of the galaxy. Vicious was dope as shit.
Fair. That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? So he got to be George Washington. Then you got Darth Bane is technically the evil George Washington.
Is every single one of yours going to be Sith?
He created the rule of two, and that's what warranted him the spot on the list. Some people would say Darth Sidious is more cunning and manipulative, but he's not. Because everything was set up by Darth Bane. Only thing that Darth Sidious did is just follow through with the plan to the end. It was already set up 1,000 years before Sidious was ever born. Darth Bane was coming up with this shit. He set everything into motion. He had he created everything. Darth Xana taught it to the next person, or it might have been Darth Bane, because we're still not sure if Darth Bane did essence transfer and just kept doing it all the way to Sidious. For all we know, Sidious was Darth Bane. But he's the one that paid the way for everything. All the way up till Sidious. Sidious just finished it and then got killed. You know what I'm saying? Twice. You know what I'm saying? So
is every single one of yours Sith? Because I can see you doing that.
So Darth Bane is definitely one of the people that got to be up. He got to be like the Abraham Lincoln. Even though, like, literally he's George Washington. Like, George Washington basically created the foundation of America. Darth Bane created the foundation of the Sith. He revamped the Sith into a whole better thing. Okay. Then Darth Malgus. People be sleeping on Darth Malgus. Okay.
I like Darth Malgus.
Come on, man. Darth Malgus, he might not have been super dope super, dark side, but that dude was fearless. He flew a plane right into the front of the Jedi temple. Like, just flew that shit and flew a damn shit right in the front door.
He's sick.
And then he laid sack to the temple with the. He brought the other shit.
If that's not like Theodore Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, I don't know what is.
You know what I'm saying? That dude is freaking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Malgus is awesome. Like, people be sleeping on Malgus. And I think the way Malgus dies was just bullshit. I don't think they could have killed him like that. It was just garbage. But because Malgus was dope. He was fearless. He didn't give a shit. And he was like, dude, y'all want to take over the temple? Let's go. Come on. Everybody get on this shit. We're going to fly right through the front door and just whoop their ass. And he did it. Malgus is dope. And then my last person would have to be Darth Plagueis. Darth Plagueis because, come on, man. A Sith Lord is so powerful that he could manipulate the Force into creating life itself. And he could cheat death. Only reason he died is because fucking his Sidious was an asshole, got him drunk. And this dude ain't slept in like fucking forever. So he falls asleep and Sidious kills him, man. Like, dude, because Sidious knew he couldn't beat him heads up. He couldn't. There was no way. So he had to cheat, which is all right because he's a Sith. He's supposed to cheat. That's, part of being a Sith. You cheat. You know what I'm saying? You don't follow the rules. You're a Sith. And so Plagueis has to be in my top. Plus, Plagueis was dope. Plagueis did some dope shit. Like, He was a dope
Jeez,
Sith
bro.
Lord. So that would be my personal 4 favorites, or my
Bro.
personal list, because
Ours-
they did something.
Every
They-
single one of yours is a Sith, though.
Yeah. Hey, shit, my most influential gotta be it's the same thing. Well, no, I guess it's about even on my people that changed the galaxy the most, or was most influential. People that I think this should be up there because of the changes they did to the galaxy.
And here I was picking like good guys and shit.
Well, you could pick good guys. I just looked at it like, dude, they're all dope. You know what I'm saying? All these characters is dope as shit. Like all the characters I picked. Now people would sit back and say, you know what I'm saying, that there's other people that, you know what I'm saying, that they would have picked that's probably more powerful. But I looked at what they could do overall and what type of changes they did to the entire galaxy. That when I was ranking my personal, because I had a list of like 100, I was like, holy shit, I got to cut this down to 4. This is going to take forever. So I looked at people what did they do to change the galaxy? How was their influence like just change everything? Like what did they did? Vitiant number 1, that dude destroyed a whole planet and became the Sith Emperor. Like was just dope as shit. Became the Emperor. Whoop Revan's ass twice. One time with just a thought. Dude is dope. Vitiant is dope.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So for mine are very different because I look at the Mount Rushmore and I don't just see influence. I see good men, generally speaking, like good, upstanding men, right? That we should look up to, like in America. Obviously, they're not
Fucking
perfect.
criminals.
They're not perfect in history. They've done some bad things, but generally speaking, like these are the values that we had as Americans, like freedom. And so I did that for like my Mount Rushmore of Star Wars. So first off was Yoda. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think Yoda is avoidable. Yoda is one of the wisest Jedi ever. He is the wisest Jedi ever until you go to like maybe Legends Luke or something.
Nah, Legends Luke wasn't as wise as Yoda.
You don't think so?
Nah, he was probably more powerful.
More powerful
Just in the
for
shit
sure.
that he could do. But a lot of the shit that Luke could do was based on, Luke looked outside of the box. Luke still had a little bit of like dark side. If you go to like Legends, Luke joined the dark side for a while to learn.
Yeah, he wasn't afraid of the dark side. That's fair. Yoda was kind of blinded a little bit by dogma of the Jedi. That's fair.
Wisdom in the Force, like nah,
But Yoda
probably got the
Yoda
top.
knows what's up. So Yoda's like my I don't know if I'd call him Abraham Lincoln or George Washington. Yoda's honestly more like Benjamin Franklin, but Benjamin Franklin's not up there. So, but yeah, Yoda. Another one, Luke, dude. Luke was influential, dude. He changed the galaxy. Come on, it's got to be Luke. Like
Yeah,
that
Luke
man.
changed the galaxy.
Yeah, dude. He flipping defeated the Empire and the Emperor, and then, I mean, if you go by Legends, he rebuilt the flipping Jedi Order from scratch, being the only Jedi out there. Like, come on. Luke
Married
is badass.
fine ass Mara Jade.
Yeah, dude. That alone gets you up there, which would get Anakin up there as well because he got Padme. But separate topic. Another one I'd probably do, if we're sticking with, Darth Vader / Anakin. Like, the whole story's about him. He's got to be up there. Yeah. Is it unfair having 2 Skywalkers up there? Maybe, but find me a real life family that is that badass. Like, Skywalker that's the reason they're up there. So definitely Anakin / Darth Vader.
The Bushes.
The Bushes. That's true. The Bushes. The Skywalkers are the Bushes.
You had the Daddy Bush and Child Bush, both presidents. Even though they both did a bunch of shit to fuck over America.
9/11. It's like the Death Star. Wow. I'm just kidding.
That's what I'm saying. Anakin helped build the Death Star. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So,
and then because I guess I was really focused on again like the movies instead of like Legends.
I know about the books more. I know about all of it, but the books have some very influential characters in it.
That's fair. And then I think the last one. See, this one I was having trouble coming up with because part of me wants to say Palpatine, but then he's not really a good guy. But he changed shit. So I think I'm going to go with Palpatine. Because he did some influential shit, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, I think we'll go Palpatine.
So that's your personal list.
That's
Okay.
my personal list.
All right. So when I was, like I said, then I had to sit back and I had to think. And I agree with you on my first one. I picked Yoda. Yoda is the most wisest and most powerful Jedi. Yoda, his teaching and guidance had a profound impact on the galaxy. I mean, his role in training Luke and other Jedis ensured that the Force remained in balance and that the galaxy was protected from the dark side. So you gotta look at, and not only that, he whooped a lot of people's asses over, you know what I'm saying, the 900 years he was alive. I mean, he did a lot to change the foundation. Might not have been for the best, but he changed the foundation of the galaxy. You know, especially during the time that he was a Jedi, because, you know, of course, you know, at 50 he was like Grogu and he was just a baby. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't do much. Then the next one I said Darth Plagueis, and the reason was because
Wait, I'm sorry. What was your first one again? You
Yoda
said
was my first one.
Yoda, then Plagueis. Okay, so Yoda should be up there. Thank you.
Yeah, Yoda's up there. Oh wait, hold up. We got to go back and check. Before I finish, let's go back. So Chris says for his personals is Anakin, Ahsoka, Anakin, Bane, and Revan. But Revan face would be split in half, and it would be light side and dark side being on each side. Okay.
Ahsoka, really?
Ahsoka did some she did some
influential shit, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm just I never, like, when Ahsoka came out, everybody loved her, and I think I was the only one that didn't like her.
I just don't know.
And
how
now I like her. Now I
know.
like her. Now that it's been time and like I've seen more of her. But when she first came out, I just was like, just didn't like her at first. I don't know why.
Annoying little teenager.
Yeah,
like annoying little kid. But I still
it took
loved her.
a
That's
long time
me
for me to like be okay with her.
That's what
She's
made me
still
love
kind
her.
of annoying.
Star Wars team leader said Bane, Revan, Thrawn, and Vader. That's a good list. Okay, moving on to to my second pick for most influential people that should be up there. I said Darth Plagueis because once he was able to create life itself, and since I believe he created Anakin, which was the arc to the entire Star Wars brand, he has to be one of the people I put up there. Because without him, there wouldn't have been no Anakin. There would have been no story because he created Anakin. I believe that he created Anakin. Other people argue with me.
But we don't have flipping George Washington's mom up on George
Yeah,
Washington.
but Plagueis was dope all around. You know what I'm saying? That shit changed the entire galaxy. Without his process, it would not have changed the entire galaxy.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
So and he was the master to Palpatine. So Palpatine finished the Sith legacy, you know what I'm saying, Bane's legacy. He finished it. So Darth Plagueis was like the instrument in doing that. So he was more influential than Anakin and Palpatine because he was the one that created them both or put them both in the positions where the whole basis of the story is off of.
Right.
Then my next one was Revan. And the reason I picked Revan because he significantly impacted galactic history. His involvement in the Mandalorian Wars, his fall to the dark side and rise back up to the light side. It was because he went after the Sith Empire that they found out about the Sith. You know what I'm saying? A lot of he just influenced the galaxy so much. And this shit happened way back in time. And he's still talked about today. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, it's like one of the presidents that's up there. You know, even though they're not around anymore, we still talk about them all the time and the things that they did to influence the United States. And then, of course, Darth Bane, because he created a ruler tool, which was the core to the dark side of the Force. Without Bane's reorganization of the Sword, none of the things in Star Wars would have ever came to pass. So without Darth Bane, there is no, you know what I'm saying, there is no Star Wars because he's the one that created the ruler tool, which just basically revamped everything and set up for the whole entire Star Wars saga to even happened. There wouldn't have been no Palpatine. There wouldn't have been none of that. Sooner or later, the Jedi would have just wiped out the Sith. You know, it would have been constantly war forever. Either that or they'd have just figured out a way to destroy each other, and then the galaxy would be empty. So, you know what I'm saying? Him, and then plus, you know, you got to think Darth Bane was pretty manipulative. I mean, he convinced the entire Sith to, you know, destroy themselves with the thought bomb. You know, that you got that's pretty dope. That's pretty.
So no Daddy
influential.
Palps. You really don't like Palpatine, huh?
Nah, it's not that I don't like Palpatine. I just don't think people put Palpatine on this pedestal. That he did all this shit, but it was because of what Darth Bane and many other Sith did to set
but
all that up.
Give credit where credit is due, man.
All he did
This
is
guy
fulfill.
did some
All he
shit.
did is fulfill things that other people had already done, already set up for him. It wasn't like he created all this shit. It wasn't like he set up the banking clan to be on his side. It's not like he set up all this shit. All this shit was already becoming into pass long before Palpatine ever was even born. You know what I'm saying? Before he was even a thought in a twinkle in his daddy's eye, before he was running up and down his daddy's spinal cord, all this stuff was already put into motion. All he did is fulfill it, and then he didn't even fulfill it for the good because he was only the top for 30 years before he got took out. So
Yeah, it's pretty
you know what I'm
short-lived.
saying? I just don't give him the props that he should get because overall, like, other than his cunning and manipulation, which was something that was passed down top from Bane to Xana, all the way to Plagueis to him, these was things that was taught. That's what they taught the Sith. You can't beat the Jedi by force. You had to beat them by cunning and manipulation and stuff like that. Bane set that up. Bane is the one that set all that stuff up.
true.
He's the one that got the banking clan on side. He's the one that got all these people, and they just worked all the way towards the point of Palpatine. Palpatine just finished it off. So I don't get, and power-wise, like you put Bane versus Palpatine in a fight, Bane will whoop the shit out of Palpatine.
Yeah, but yeah, you're
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So Palpatine wasn't that great. The reason a lot of people put Palpatine as powerful just because he was the only one since from Darth Bane to become, he took over the galaxy. But it was because of all these other Sith and their influences and their manipulations and their cunning and the things that they did leading up to that point that he was able to even do it. They put him in that position to be able to do that. Without them, he would have never been able to do, he wouldn't have been able to do it by himself.
I think Palpatine's like influence didn't come from him being even a good Sith compared to Bane. It was his ability as a politician.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But his ability to be a politician was the cunning that he was taught by Darth Plagueis.
But Bane and Plagueis couldn't have been that politician that Palpatine was.
Bane could. Bane was pretty good. It's just he just looked crazy as shit, and he was all.
That's what I mean.
He couldn't.
Bro, to be a politician, it's not.
Well, you
just
gotta
like,
think, Palpatine ain't even the first politician that was the Sith. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and you follow the lineage after Bane, he wasn't even the first politician.
Yeah,
He was just
then
the
why
first
didn't
one
any
that
of the other
had
politicians
everything
take over?
He was the first one that had everything in place in order to enact, or in order to create the clones, in order to, you know what I'm saying, do this. And he was, I don't know, and I don't like Palpatine because he didn't follow the rule of two or Vader. You know, they had the Inquisitors. They had, you know what I'm saying, multiple apprentices at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you didn't follow the rule of two. And the rule of two is what got you there. That's why you failed. You know what I'm saying? That's why you failed is because you didn't follow the teachings, which technically Bane didn't follow the teachings if he did create essence transfer, because the whole point is to be, you know what I'm saying, to get your apprentice to be stronger than you, and then they kill you. And then they become the next leader, and they're stronger, and each one gets stronger. If you just do essence transfer every time, you just become stronger all the way till Palpatine. So
that's not the rule too either.
Either way, it just doesn't. It doesn't fall within the category of, you know what I'm saying. That's why, you know, it just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't fall into the thing. Into the category where Darth Sidious was all that great, because he wasn't. In all reality, he wasn't that great. And then people be like, well, he beat Yoda. Dude, he didn't beat Yoda. Yoda slipped. You know,
I agree. Yoda slipped.
Yoda slipped. If Yoda in a straight lightsaber battle, dude, Yoda would have won. If it didn't come to the Force. He had the high ground. He was throwing shit at Yoda. And it's hella harder to throw shit uphill than it is to throw shit downhill. You know what I'm saying? Force or no force. You know what I'm saying? He didn't beat Yoda.
Palpatine was on the verge of losing. That's why he
And even Mace Windu said that Yoda could beat him in a lightsaber duel. And Mace Windu beat Palpatine. So, you know what I'm saying? Come on now. Just Palpatine ain't all that. Everybody wants to put Palpatine on a pedestal. Fuck Palpatine. He kissed my ass. There was a lot of people.
Yeah, but you still gotta respect the dude. Like,
I respect for what he did. I respect him. He was the emperor. He did, create the empire. He did do all that shit. But it was because of what other people did. It wasn't what he did. He just finished the task. And then he got thrown down a thing and somehow survived, and then got killed by a chick that nobody likes.
For me, it's still like he did stuff that like other Sith couldn't have done because he was the politician. He was the perfect politician. I think he was the only one that could have become an emperor. Because if you look back, people didn't really like Bane. Bane was a dick.
People didn't even know Bane. Him. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, the whole time he was in the obelisk armor, he couldn't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He just looked like a monster. Then when they took the shit off, all he did, you know what I'm saying? He was too intimidating. But that doesn't mean that other people couldn't. I mean, you got to think about Plagueis was part of the banking clan. You know what I'm saying? Plagueis was, you know what I'm saying? Like Plagueis could have done it. If Palpatine didn't kill Plagueis, I think Plagueis would have become the emperor. He was the one that was getting everything set up. He's the one put the money behind everything.
Yeah, he bought his way in. So money's the real Sith then.
Well, you got to think about it. Trump bought his way in. It worked for him, so he became the president.
It worked for him.
It's the same thing. I think if Palpatine wouldn't have killed Plagueis, Plagueis would have became the emperor. You know what I'm saying? He was on track to do that shit, and he was like freaking old as shit. Yeah, but he can't die, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it all works out to the same in the end. But I give Palpatine his props for becoming the emperor, but it was because of what other people had did that set him up to be able to do it.
All right.
All he did is follow what was already set up for him, and it worked out for him. Because you got to think, Palpatine knew once Plagueis had got a hold of Anakin, you know what I'm saying? If Plagueis did create Anakin, Palpatine already knew he was on the way out. That's why he had to kill Plagueis. He had to kill Plagueis because if not, Anakin was going to be Plagueis' new apprentice. So he was like, "Let me kill this dude so I can finish it off." And then he didn't even kill him like a Sith is supposed to kill him. He got him drunk and waited till he was asleep.
Who said that's how a Sith is supposed to kill him? There's no such thing.
Because you were supposed to. The way Darth Bane set it up was you were supposed to beat your master in combat. You had to show that you were stronger. Now it could be in force abilities.
He was wiser.
It could be in lightsaber combat. It could be, but you had to beat him. You didn't get him drunk and wait till he passed out because he ain't slept in
then Plagueis broke it first
years or whatever it was. And
Plagueis broke it first because Plagueis wasn't allowing himself to die or even get older. He was keeping himself alive.
That's true. That is true, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, that is true, but. I mean, it's still the fact that the apprentice was supposed to become stronger than the master. Just because you're not allowing yourself to die, you still got to become strong enough to beat me. If not, I'm just gonna outlive you and you're gonna die anyway. So you was weak anyway. You wasn't supposed to be the new master.
In a way, I think he was.
It was the same thing with Bane and Xana. The reason Bane was looking for essence transfer because he didn't ever think Xana was gonna challenge him for the mantle of Sith Lord. That's the only reason Bane was looking for a way, because Bane was getting old. He was starting to have problems. His hand was shaking and shit. And he was like, she's never going to try to beat me. So I need to get stronger. I need to figure out a way so I can stay alive. So when she's never going to challenge me, I can go find me a new apprentice because she's not following through with her side. Xana's issue was there's more that I need to learn from you. You know what I'm saying? She was just trying to get stronger. She wanted to get to where she knew everything, and then before she attacked Bane, before she challenged Bane. Then just the way things happened, she ended up challenging him. And, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if the essence transfer went through because, after it was all done, she was moving her hand like she might be Bane. But at the same time, it's never said that Bane got the essence transfer completely.
It's true.
And I think the irony on the situation is kind of messed up because if the essence transfer didn't go through, you got stuck in a black void of nothingness. And it was kind of, karma because if he didn't get it, he trapped all them fucking people in the thought bomb, all them Sith in the thought bomb, so he kind of got what he deserved. But we don't know because it's never told.
True.
It's never the thing, because he's moving his hand, it was shaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, is this Xana was doing that? But, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, did it work? Or was that just Xana, just the essence of Bane still being in there and she could feel what he was feeling? Never is explained.
Because that does seem like Bane. Like nobody would ever really be good enough.
Well, it wasn't.
Well, but then by that logic, like, how do you know Palpatine wasn't Bane?
Well, only reason I don't think it because Plagueis was drunk and he hadn't slept in a grip. And then he gets him drunk. He passes out. Then Sidious kills. So he's not awake to activate the essence transfer.
How do you know?
Well,
Maybe
we don't
he
know.
was. Yeah.
We don't know.
You see?
I mean, that's all. These are all speculations at this point. Okay, so who's your list?
Okay, yeah, wow. Dang, that was a fun rabbit hole. My list, Bane has got to be up there. I mean, he is behind the modern Sith. Like Palpatine, from him on, he created that Sith order, I think. He's like their prophet. He's their holy one. He's, you know what I mean? Like he's their go-to guy. He's like, he embodied a lot of what they did and what they believed in and what their goals were. So Bane has got to be up there. So I'd agree with that. Yoda, I think, also has got to be up there. Yeah, I think Yoda was kind of the leader of the Jedi and embodied the way the Jedi were thinking at the time, especially the prequels and a little bit of the original. Yoda was kind of that main source of wisdom, and he was like their almost prophet in a way. So Yoda and Bane have definitely got to be up there.
You got to think about it. Damn near, when you think about it, every Jedi that we had from the Clone Wars, all that, was influenced by Yoda.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
In some way.
Either they were trained by Yoda or their masters was trained by Yoda or their masters all the way before long. Because, man, Yoda was old as shit.
He was an infection.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yoda was a cancer.
He was definitely put into a situation where, you know what I'm saying, he influenced the Jedi Order more than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean,
so you have to put him up there. There's 100%. No way to get around it. He was probably one of the most influential characters in Star Wars.
Agreed. Just because everybody's thinking is influenced by Yoda. I mean, Obi-Wan's training of Luke came a lot from Yoda. Like, he was the guy. He was the guy. After that, I think I would probably go Luke still. I think Luke still deserves to be up there. Okay, because Yoda had the brains and had the idea. Luke is the one who I think really brought it about and defeated the Sith. Fuck the sequels, but deleted the Sith and like really brought it back and kind of implemented like a new dawn for the Jedi, right?
I completely disagree with you on that, but okay.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
Man, Luke is a bitch.
If movie Luke's, but I think like I don't know. I still think they screwed up.
Because in all reality, you take somebody like Revan, all right? Revan was thousands and thousands of years before, and he's still talked about to modern day Jedi. Modern day Sith still talk about him, you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, Palpatine named the whole thing in the sequels Revan.
I know.
He still talked about shit after freaking
I
Rey
still have
dies.
one more. I still have one more.
After Rey dies, shit, ain't nobody gonna be talking about Luke Skywalker. Ain't even nobody gonna remember the Skywalkers after Luke died. After Rey died.
If you go from the movies, yes, but if you go from like
You know what I'm saying?
Legends,
Plus, the way he died was a punk. You know what I'm saying?
because the movie screwed him over. Okay,
I don't know.
I'm
Luke.
not.
I just don't think Luke is that influential.
That's just why I hate the movies because it made it look like Luke was a flippin' chump.
Like nobody's gonna be talking about Luke Skywalker. The Skywalkers is gonna be gone in 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's even gonna remember the Skywalkers.
Crazy. The blasphemy, Kyle. Just blasphemy. My last one would be Revan, just because he literally influenced both sides of the Force. He's an inspiration to a lot of Bane's teachings and a wise fucking Jedi.
Shit, he's the main reason.
Yeah, he's
the main reason for Bane's teaching.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, you'd have to put like Revan being more influential than Bane, because Revan is the one that gave Bane the idea.
Yes and no, because I think
Revan's the one that gave him the idea of the battery.
Right.
Basically, the battery, the Force. If you got too many people sucking off the Force, then you know what I'm saying, the strength of the Force goes down. So you got to get rid of all these people. That's how Bane came up with the rule of two, because he was like one person to embody the power, the other person to crave it. Because if you only have one person, if that person gets killed, then you're kind of screwed at the end of the Sith. So you know what I'm saying, you got to have two people. But Revan was like one person, one Sith could conquer the entire galaxy, and Bane was kind of like, nah, that ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to have.
I think Bane was still necessary, right?
Yeah, he was necessary. That's why they were both up there. But
yeah,
Revan definitely influenced both sides of the Force. Revan was probably the biggest influence on the galaxy. Revan was still talked about in modern day times.
Which is crazy why we don't have a fucking movie of him yet.
Darth Bane was the name of one of the trooper sects. So, you know what I'm saying? They definitely were influenced for a long time. Even the Jedi talked about Revan and his how great he was. Especially when you come to the books or even in the comics. I've heard of Revan being talked about. And look how influential he's in the video game. So he's definitely a major part of the major influence within Star Wars, and probably the most renowned character in Star Wars. If you really think about the top 5 characters when you bring up Star Wars in a conversation, people that don't even like Star Wars know who Revan is. They know who Darth Vader is.
You think so?
Yeah, a lot of people know who Revan is. It's fucking crazy how many people. I was talking to a dude like a couple weeks ago, and this dude was like, "You like Star Wars? Star Wars is stupid." And I was like, well, all right, what's stupid? He was like, Revan is stupid. That dude was a dark side, light side, dark side. This dude didn't even know about Star Wars. I was like, do you even know about Star Wars? He's like, that's about it. So for being somebody had told him about it. So, and if you look up Star Wars, like most influential things in Star Wars, Revan is one of the things that comes up. Or even if you just look up Star Wars, Revan is always something that pops up. If you just go on Google and look up Star Wars, Vader definitely comes up. Yoda comes up.
I don't know. I just kind of figured that like people who weren't big Star Wars fans didn't really know who Revan was.
Revan, like everybody knows, like Revan is probably one of the most known Star Wars characters.
Really?
Darth Vader is. Yoda is. Baby. I have to say Grogu is probably up there top of Grogu.
I don't know. Chat, what do you think? If you haven't seen Star Wars, do you really?
Well, if you watch if you watch just the movies, you don't know who Revan is.
Yeah, that's what
I
mean.
They don't ever announce the only reason we know they're like Darth Bane and Darth Revan and all that.
So unless like you're a big Star Wars fan, you don't know who
there's
Revan
a lot
is.
of people who know who Revan is. There's a lot of people that know who Revan is.
I don't know.
Then you got all the shit on YouTube that just pops up Revan. Like a lot of people watch it, and it'll just
people who like are already interested.
It don't even
in Star
like
Wars
that freaking dude. I don't know who did the Revan, that little Revan, the Revan movie. I can't remember who it was. The little Revan movie on Star Wars or on thing, but that shit was popping up on all kinds. I was looking at shit for how to build a damn go-kart, and this shit popped up. So whoever.
Well, that because it pops up for you, Kyle.
No, it popped up as an advertisement.
Really?
Yeah, it was on an advertisement for that short film.
Yeah, but don't they tailor advertisements to you?
No, I mean you just get so freaking women's tampons is for me.
Yeah, dude.
Hell, I need some fucking tampons.
Cause you a
more.
bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Cause I be getting all kind of ass, tampon ass, freaking ass for dolls and shit that pop up on YouTube. This just be random ass popping up on videos. Like, what the hell does this got to do with changing a faucet? Why do I look up how to change a faucet and the shit pops up as a damn tampon ass pops up? Like, what does it have to do with changing
I think you two know something about you that you don't even know yourself.
Yeah, well, I hope not, cause
I'm just playing with you.
maybe it knows I have MS and one day I'll be shitting on myself because I can't control my blood bowel. So it says, shove a tampon up your ass.
Oh, God.
But back when that short film came out, that shit was all over YouTube. It was popping up ads. They spent a shit ton of money on them ads. And if you go watch the movie, you can see that shit got like 10 million views or 20 million, 100 million views. It got a shit ton of views on it. So a bunch of people went and watched it. There's a lot of views on that. And it's really not that bad of a short film if you go watch it. I kind of like it.
Maybe. I
I
don't know
would
if I'm
definitely love to
convinced.
see an actual
Agree to
movie
disagree.
but there's a lot of people that like it. So Brevin definitely got to be on the list.
Oh, yes, I agree. Especially because we're big Star Wars fans. We know who Revan is.
Shut up, man.
All right.
Okay, now, if you could take 4 Star Wars politicians, it had to be politicians, who would they be?
Leia's going to be up there. I think Leia has to be up there.
Yep, she's on my list.
Palpatine's got to be up there.
Palpatine's on my list.
I don't know. Who else would you put? Maybe, I don't know if I'd do Snoke. Because, like, he's pretty big in, like, the sequels, but I fucking hate him, so.
But he's not really a politician.
That's true. Well, I mean, he's emperor. Do you not count that as politician?
Like the leader of the
First Order. Would you go Mon Mothma? Maybe Mon Mothma.
I was either gonna say Mon Mothma. Yeah, I'd say Mon Mothma, and then I'd have to say Chancellor Valorum.
Valorum.
Yeah. He was a good politician. He got all the way to Chancellor, and then he just got voted out because,
Palpatine booted his ass.
Bale's another good one. Padme.
Oh, Padme. Yeah. I kind of like Padme.
Bale, I would have to put Bale up there. Bale would have to go up there.
Take off Valorum. I'd take off Valorum and go Bale.
I would say Leia, Bale.
Palpatine.
Leia.
Or you already said Leia. Palpatine, Mon Mothma.
And Mon Mothma, yeah. I don't think Padme was a great politician. I just think she was very charismatic. I don't think she was like good at. I don't know. She was a good politician.
That's what a politician is, though. Like, let's be honest. Like, politician is just about getting people to like you and being fake as fuck. Like,
but she wasn't really fake. She was honest to her shit.
Yeah, so she was a good politician. But like, let's be honest. I think that's what. Like, being a good quote unquote politician doesn't mean you're a good person. It just means you're good at like getting elected.
Conning people, you're cunning.
Yeah, you're a con. Is what you are.
Bale and Padme, I don't know. That's hard to do for because there's a lot of good politicians. There was a lot of people like anybody from the Trade Federation or from Cato Nomordia. They would have been good because their whole shit is just about analytics, so that would make a good politician.
Yeah, but
then that would be an ugly picture up on the wall. up on the thing.
Mount Rushmore.
Cato Nomordia, the Nomordians is not an attractive species at all. Oh, damn, that's kind of hard. Yeah, I'd have to say Bale, Padme, Leia,
Palpatine,
and Palpatine. That's how I'd have to put Padme over Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma wasn't a very good politician. Everybody hated her.
You think so?
Yeah.
But she started not started, but she was like a lead.
She was very
person
influential in the thing,
rebellion.
but you gotta also understand that Padme and Bale was the first ones that was connecting together to know something that was going wrong. You know what I'm saying? They was the ones meeting up at first that knew something was happening. And then Padme dies. Bale keeps it going. Bale's really the person who started the rebellion.
Started the foundation. But Mon Mothma was like that figurehead, though. Like
Yeah,
she was.
I don't know. It's kind of hard. We need another president up there. They need to carve another.
They need
spot.
5.
They need 5.
Put Biden up there. I'm just
Nah,
kidding.
they're gonna put Trump up there.
Old man Biden.
They're gonna
Bro,
put Trump.
If you carved Biden, he'd be like looking the other way. All the
Like
presidents.
if they really voted, and I want to get everybody's take on this. If they really voted on creating another president for the wall, who would you say they would be up there? Who would you think they would needed to be up there?
Personally,
Yeah.
probably like I think they would put like FDR, like Franklin Roosevelt, just because like he kind of like was a big leader during World War II, kind of led us through World War II. So yeah, maybe him. If you ask like Republicans, it's gonna be Reagan.
I would say it would be Obama. I think if they voted,
There's no way
I
they
think
would
that they
let
would, because he was the
Obama. I don't
first
think
black
so.
president.
Oh, so strictly because he's black then?
I would think that would be the most logical thing, because that was a very giant shift within the United States culture. That was very influential shift in the culture of the United States, because
But is that something he did, or is that something that then?
I mean, I think that they would. I think if it was voted on, I think he would win because of that, because of how it changed the entire culture of the United States. For us to go from being where black people were slaves to a point that we have a black president, that's a major shift in culture, and it shows how the America has changed and how it has grown and became better. And I think if people were to vote on that,
that would make him more of like a symbol rather than he's up there. For his
and
own
that's what
merit.
But that's also,
Does that make
I mean,
sense?
come on. When you look at Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's up there because he didn't want to pay taxes.
What?
Basically, the Civil War, a lot of people think the Civil War was fought because of racism. It wasn't.
No.
Racism wasn't even involved until the North needed more soldiers. So they was like, basically, we need to win. We're getting our ass whooped by the South. So let's put in a thing so we can get black people to fight with us. And then that's when it became about race. It was really
Well, that's when Lincoln
because all of
freed the slaves.
That's when it was about freeing the slaves. But it started because of
Because Lincoln got elected.
Well, no, it was started because of taxation. Everything was coming up through the ports from the South, all the imports, and they were charging major taxes to the North, import taxes to the North. And the North got tired of paying those taxes. They didn't want to pay the import taxes to the South. That's what it really got started over.
Yeah, the South is the one that seceded, though. I think it was
Yeah,
a
no,
long
the South
divide
conceded because
for a
they was getting their
long time.
ass whooped because black people were fighting in the war now, and the North had way more troops.
No. The South seceded before the war started. That's what
Seceded
started the
what?
war.
The Civil War?
The South left the United States, seceded before the war even started. That's what
because
started
they
the
were like,
war.
screw you, then you ain't getting shit. You don't want to pay our taxes. You don't want to pay the tariffs. Because they was paying import tariffs. Because all the stuff was coming up through the South. It was coming up through the Mississippi and stuff. It was coming up through the south of the country. All the imports was. The South was charging the North tariffs. And when the South was charging the North tariffs, the North didn't want to pay them tariffs. So the North said, the United States basically said, we're not paying it.
Really dumbing it down though. Like
I mean,
there
but
was
basically
still
that's
a
what it
lot
was all.
more to
Basically,
it.
that's what it was. That's what caused it. Then the South said, well, screw you. If you don't want to pay us, we're not going to be a part of the United States no more.
Yeah,
That's why
it was
succeeded.
economic. It was economic. It was flipping cultural. There was a lot.
Well,
of
race
stuff.
didn't come into like 3-4 years after the Civil
I'm not
War.
even talking about race. I'm talking about like, dude, even like the cultural things, even like how to count population was a thing. It was there was like so much. It wasn't just taxes strictly. You know what I mean?
So
it was states' rights versus federal rights. It was,
and then the only thing
number of things.
And then the only thing that Lincoln really did was Lincoln was like, all right, let's if we free black people, we guarantee black people's freedom.
No. That's I don't think Lincoln was great just because he freed the slaves. Like that was a good thing.
But that's the reason it got him on Mount Rushmore. That's what
Oh,
when
you think so?
when most people think about Abraham Lincoln, the normal person that thinks about Abraham Lincoln, it always goes back to he freed the slaves.
But
he
even
was the
though
president
he freed
that
the
freed
slaves
the
for
slaves.
soldiers.
And that's not even
Yeah.
that's what he's
I think it was the fact that he preserved the United States. Without him,
because he won the war. But he would have never won the war if he wouldn't have made that decision. And it wasn't technically, he didn't even want to do it in the first place. He was like, no, we're not going to do that. And then they were like, we're going to lose then. And then he succeeded and said, all right, then let's do this. And then he was the one that wrote into the draft about freeing the slaves and told all the black people, even if you're in the South, if you get to the North, you will be free. But one of the conditions was you have to fight for the North. So It was like, I'm going from basically being a slave to being a soldier. Might lose my life fighting against the people that enslaved me. But they forget and a lot of people forget that the North had slaves too. I mean, it was all around, it was fucked up. But the thing that got him on Mount Rushmore is because basically he was the president and won the Civil War. And the Civil War, by what most people are taught, it was because of slavery, but that's not the truth. The war didn't start, the Civil War wasn't fought because of slavery.
I mean, no, the argument has to be made that was a factor.
Yeah,
you
later
can't say
on,
that was
but
insignificant. That was a major factor.
That's
wasn't
basically colonial teachings that we learned in school that was falsified. It was not. I mean, it wasn't
but that
falsified.
Was not like the sole purpose.
It wasn't the reason, though. It wasn't the start of the Civil War. It wasn't. Civil War had been going on for a few years before that ever even came into consideration. So if you look at it by what most people think and what most people know, Abraham Lincoln is up there because he freed the slaves. That's the reason he's up there. That was his influence on the culture. You know what I'm saying? George Washington was the first president. He freed the country from British rule. Abraham Lincoln.
You want to talk
the
about
slave.
a guy that didn't want to pay taxes?
Obama was the first black president. You look at it, it's all because of not so much because of the influence, because of what they represent. And that would be representation.
For me, it was like, I feel like the reason a lot of the guys were up there is the qualities and the things that they did as president or as leaders of the country.
Well, let's look it up. Why were the presidents selected here? I'll look that up. Why were the presidents selected for Mount Rushmore?
And then one of them was just like, sorry. Oh, thank you. So George Washington was the first president. Thomas Jefferson was the third president and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. He purchased Louisiana Territory, literally doubled the size of our country. Yeah. Theodore Roosevelt, he was the 26th president. He provided leadership during one of the most rapid periods of growth during the 20th century. Negotiated the Panama Canal. He was a trust buster for corporate monopolies, ensured the rights for common working people. Yeah. And then obviously Abraham Lincoln for the things we just talked about. So all these presidents, I mean, you could argue, but most of these presidents did significant things.
Yeah, they did significant things, but at the same time, it's more representation than it is.
You think so?
Obama becoming president was a cultural shift in America. It showed that anybody could accomplish anything in America. So he might not have done much as being president. Which
Yeah, I feel like the reason they're on there is because what these men did as president.
but that's not what they.
What they.
I mean, but we also got. Did you look at it by what the artists that put them up there for, or what the government says that they're up there for?
That's from the Mount Rushmore website.
So I still think that if it was put to the people, of all the presidents, I think Obama would be the one that would be voted up. Obama would be the one that the American people would vote for. If they said you had to vote for a president a new president to be added to Mount Rushmore, what president would you vote for? And I think the people of America would vote for Obama because that's a cultural shift. Just him becoming president changed the entire world. It didn't just change America; it changed the entire world. So I think it would be Obama. Me personally, I would say, who was the most badass president we had?
Oh, right. So you think it's like for what he represented, that the fact that the people voted on a black man to be president.
Yeah, the culture changed.
So it's not so much what he did; it's more about like what he represented.
The symbolism. It's the symbolism behind him.
I get that.
Because as president, I mean, and it wasn't so much his fault that he couldn't do that much as a president when he had to. It's like him against everybody.
That's why I'm like, dude, there's no way any modern president is going to be
like, dude, it's so hard.
With how
and
polarized we are now,
for him,
there's no way.
Nobody in Congress wanted him to win. It didn't matter. Then nobody wanted him to win, and then he won. So they just vetoed all his bills and everything he tried to do. Only thing he really got was Obamacare, and which was just a waste of time. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like...
I mean, with how polarized our country is, there's no way any president is going to be able to do enough.
And then him being the first black president, I think a lot of the things that he wanted to do was just vetoed because a lot of people were envious that the American people voted him in. They were like, what the hell is going on, man? This is supposed to be fucking all white presidents and shit. And Congress never passed it. I think there was a lot of ego involved in a lot of the reasons that a lot of his bills didn't get passed. Because he had some great ideas.
It's politics, bro. Yeah, it's all a game.
And the same thing happened with Trump. The only thing that pisses me off about like Trump and Biden and Obama and them, they should have done like Clinton and just shut down the entire go. All right, well, fuck you then. You don't get paid. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Clinton did it. It worked. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to pass my bills, suck my dick then. How about you don't get paid for fucking 6 months? How about that? You know what I'm saying? I'm the president. You either going to pass my bills or you don't get no money. How about that? You know what I'm saying? And then they tried to get him out of there because he did that shit for getting his dick sucked. So, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that. I did not know that. Like, I did not know that that Clinton was actually impeached. The last 2 years, technically, our vice president was the president of the United States. Like, look it up. I had to look it up because somebody told me that. I said, man, you full of shit. He actually got impeached. He was impeached in the last 2 years, even though he was the president. You know what I'm saying? He was impeached. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I had to look it up because I was like, oh, man, you're full of shit. Because somebody told me that. I had to look it up. Oh,
he was impeached, but he wasn't kicked out of office.
He was impeached. That means he ain't the president no more.
No. Impeached means you like are charged. You go into hearings about it.
Yeah, no. Impeached means that you got kicked out.
No.
Yes, that's what impeached means. Impeached means you got kicked the hell out. That's they impeached you.
No. Impeach means formally
the process
charging.
to impeaching is
the impeachment is the process of charging someone.
No,
that's not actually
kicked out.
Is
impeachment.
No. Look it up. Impeachment is the formally charging with some kind of crime or improper act of some kind. It's the charging and then the hearing that goes to the Senate. And then it goes to an impeachment trial. So he went to trial. Oh, yeah. We should probably get back to Star Wars. But
yeah, we probably should. We're over here looking up all this other shit. Hey, no, but Chris, we love you too, Chris. We man, y'all know we get on some tangents.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
what y'all don't want to learn about history? Y'all anti-history people? No, it's okay. April Fools. This was all April Fools joke. We really did this.
Apparently, yeah. All right, all right.
We only got to
get
talk
back
about
Star
this
Wars,
because, okay, so we figured all that out. Okay, so let's get to you want to do a what if question? I got what if questions.
Oh,
Okay,
all right. Let's do it. Here, I'll press the button.
all right. Let's do
It
it.
only takes one decision to decide the direction of the galaxy. A decision that will influence the outcome. But if that decision went the other way, reality as we know it would change forever. The galaxy would be on a different course. Things that have happened would cease to exist. A new narrative would be etched into creation. So we are going to analyze those other possibilities when we ask, what if?
Okay, hold up. Give me a second. I got to get to the what if questions.
Hey, that was fun, though. That was fun. Even though we got on a tangent, that was fun for
All
me.
right.
At least.
What if Palpatine somehow knew how to fly? Could use the force to fly like Rey
If
does.
Palpatine could fly,
And Vader throws him down the shaft and he flies back out. What do you think happens? Do you think Luke and Darth Vader could have beat Palpatine?
bro, I don't think it fucking mattered because the Death Star fucking blew up, bro.
No, he flies
Like,
out.
He fly and survives
Vader
in
grabs
space.
him. Vader grabs him, throws him down the thing. He just flies right back out. Was like, you really thought you was gonna get rid of me like that? What if he flew right back out?
What if and then they go like 2v1 kind of battle?
Yeah.
They clap his cheeks. He's
You
still
think
gonna
that they
die.
would beat him?
I think so. I really don't think Palpatine was like this amazing fighter that we think of. He was a genius and he was very good at the Force, but his skill didn't come from his necessary combat. I think a lot of his skill came from his able to strategize and think things through and the plans that he created. Yeah, he could fight against Mace Windu and Yoda and somewhat hold his own, but I think Luke and Vader against him probably could have beaten him.
Well, Luke, we got to remember Vader only got one hand now. So now
Yes.
he has to switch to his other hand.
Yeah,
is not
but
his lightsaber
does
hand.
Palpatine even carry a flipping
Yeah, he
lightsaber?
only used his lightsaber though when it was necessary, when it was absolutely necessary. So I don't even know if he had one at that point.
I don't know. I think they could do it.
But he just shocked the shit out of both of them. One hand for each person. Just,
Yes, and yeah, like
And neither one of them have a
He
lightsaber.
would kill Vader. He would kill Vader.
Neither one of them had a lightsaber. Luke threw his lightsaber away.
Oh, that's true.
And when Vader got his hand cut off,
That's true.
he fell down the thing. Vader can't use force lightning,
You're
can he?
saying you can't like force the lightsaber to you real quick and like
He might, Luke might have, but Vader's fell down the shaft because remember he was holding it when Luke cut his hand off, and it falls
Oh,
down the shaft.
No.
I don't think Vader could have got his back.
But I think Vader, like, just from sheer fucking like force ability, I think Vader could keep himself alive to contribute to the fight. He would die, but I think Vader has more to offer. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Let's see what the chat says. Star Wars team leader just said no, and then he said no. Vader has bad off. Plus Luke couldn't handle him. Yeah, I think they would have lost. I think Palpatine would have took over the thing, and then they'd have blown up the whole Death Star, and then Palpatine would have died then. Because you got to remember, Luke barely had enough time to get away before they.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, this whole why did now that I'm watching it, why did Luke even like? What was the point of that? Like, he's gonna,
Like literally, he drug his dad all the way down there for him to die. He jumps on the thing. Why? Like, dude, you wasted a lot of time. Like the thing could have exploded at any moment. You knew that Lando was coming. You knew that they was flying in to destroy and you over here playing. You know what I'm saying? You know the rules.
Which makes me think, wouldn't Luke have been better utilized? Like, I guess he was captured, so it wasn't really his choice. But like,
Well, he turned himself in. He wasn't captured. He turned himself in.
Wouldn't he be better utilized, like attacking the Forest Moon of Endor? That whole duel with Vader was kind of pointless. They were all going to get blown up anyways.
But I think he was a distraction because you got to remember that when it comes to tactician,
right?
And you come to Palpatine and him being a tacticianer and he'd have been called if Luke wasn't a distraction up there fighting Vader and him shocking Luke and all that shit, he would have. You know what I'm saying? Palpatine would have been calling down orders, and it might have went a totally different way.
That's true.
You got to remember the Death Star was active at that time.
And Vader probably would have come down to help protect it, and
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because then Vader wouldn't have turned to the light side. It was definitely a good distraction. Because without that distraction, it would have turned out totally different. I really think that it would have been a lot more.
I don't think
that they would ever blew up the Death Star. The second Death Star, and I think Palpatine would have wiped out the entire galaxy just because he was like, all right, I'm tired of you, so we're just gonna blow up planets till we make sure that we got all of you, all of the rebels. We're just gonna blow up random planets until y'all turn us in.
Yeah, but why do you think? So when Luke is wanting to turn his dad back to the light side, and Obi-Wan and Yoda are like, no, you're full of shit. It's not gonna happen. Their reason isn't that you guys can't take Palpatine. Their reason was, no, he's evil. He won't turn good. If they couldn't take Palpatine, they would have said, no, it won't matter. He still can't take Palpatine. So, you know what I mean? I like to think that they done something.
I think that Luke would have held his own better if he wouldn't have threw away his lightsaber because he could have deflected the lightning. Yeah. That was the dumbest fucking move ever. You threw away so you cut your dad's hand off. Okay. Well, Vader's still very strong in the Force, and he's half robot. He could choke the shit out of you. So it's not like he was defeated. You know what I'm saying? Just because he didn't have a lightsaber.
That's
you
true.
Threw your lightsaber away on a hope. I guess that's why everything was based on hope. You hope that your father would turn. Because if not, Vader, now you have no lightsaber. So Vader could just kick the shit out of you manually.
Because he's stronger. He's stronger.
You had no protection against Palpatine whatsoever. That was the dumbest shit ever. Why would you throw away your lightsaber and then the Emperor is still there? Why would you throw no, I will never join you. So you throw away your only weapon, you idiot.
I will never join you.
You wonder why the hell you getting the shit shocked out of you? You're an idiot. Why the hell would you throw away your only weapon? I never got that shit. I was like, dude, that was dumb as hell. That was the dumbest shit ever. This dude is the Emperor. You know he's evil as shit. You know he's a Sith. And you throw away your only weapon.
That's fair.
On the hope that your dad is going to save you.
That's a great point. That
shit was dumb as hell. I was like, George didn't think that one out too well when he wrote that part. Because you think about it, now it would have been different if he'd have hit him with electricity and then, knocked his lightsaber away and then he was getting shocked and his dad felt sorry for him. But just to throw it away and be on a hope that your dad's going to turn back to the light side and save you.
Hey, it worked,
this dude just killed 10,000 Jedi over the last 20 years. He don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? He might not help you. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good idea to throw away your only freaking weapon. It didn't ever make sense to me. I was like, dude, that don't make no sense. I'm not throwing away my lightsaber with the Emperor standing there. I know he's a Sith Lord. He was bad enough to whoop my dad and turn him to the dark side. You know what I'm saying? I might not want to throw this away. Might want to hold on to this. Okay, we got any news and rumors? Want to get to some news and rumors?
Let's do it.
This is Alton Castle for the only news you need, the HoloNet News.
Okay, so the only things I had, one of them was more it's the news, but everybody might know about it or might not know about it. Y'all do realize, y'all know that Dave Filoni was Trapper Wolf character in season 2 of The Mandalorian. Well, he was asshole. He was also asshole. He was also an asshole, though. he was also in this last episode of The Mandalorian when they're in the bar scene with Zeb. Zapper Wolf or Trapper Wolf was sitting on the other side of the bar, and you actually can see his side profile
Who?
Anything. Dave Filoni.
Who's Trapper Wolf?
Trapper Wolf was the pilot. There was.
Oh, yes. Okay,
So
yeah,
he was in
yes,
the season 2.
Thank you.
And then
yes.
he's also in season 3 with Zeb. And one of the reasons that he wanted to be in there, his cameo, because Zeb was, of course, his creation in Rebels. And he wanted to be there when Zeb made his first appearance in live action.
Gotcha. What did you think about showing Zeb? Did you like that, or did you think it was dumb?
Man, dude, I liked it. I like the fact that they have Zeb. I still, to this point, think that they've been very reluctant in having a lot of different aliens. Like, a lot of the aliens we get, like, giant crocodiles and flying dragons. But, overall, we haven't got a lot of aliens. You can't even consider, like, sand people as aliens, because sand people could be an alien. It could be a human. It's just whoever the sand people... Chris said so was Deborah Chow. I didn't see Deborah Chow in there. But I did, and I didn't. It wasn't until the second time I watched the show that I seen it, and then I looked it up, and it said it was in there. But the what was I just talking about?
Aliens.
The aliens. I don't think that they've had a whole lot of different aliens in Mandalorian or in
not as main characters, at least. I mean, they had the pirate captain.
Yeah, but that dude would just look stupid.
He looked bad. I think it's not so much like they're scared to have aliens. I think it's like they haven't quite figured out how to make it look quite right.
But they had Cad Bane. They had some different
weird.
aliens in Mandalorian, but they were kind of reluctant. Even in the Bad Batch, they just really haven't. They had barely none in Andor. There was only like a handful in Andor, so to bring back Zeb, an alien that was like a main character in Rebels, I thought was very good. And then whatever them prosthetics was, however they did that shit looked good. Like, if you look at like the animated picture,
looked good.
It looked really, really good. So
he looks
and
super
they have
good.
And hopefully Zeb's in more of the episodes, because I think in the next episode, since they're gonna think that the Mandalorians, I think that what's his face is gonna ask Zeb to come with him, for that that backup when he goes confronts the Mandalorians about why there was Beskar in there, and I think that that's going to be a good point. So
you think Zeb is going to start being like a big player?
I don't think maybe not a big player, but I think he's going to be in at least the next episode. And I guess, I can't really say in the Mandalorian that they've been kind of, I just think that they should have had more of the aliens in there. I mean, a lot of the Star Wars was based on, they didn't really show a lot of aliens, and I always wanted to get to know more of the aliens. I mean, we got Jabba the Hutt, we got a few other people, but most of the time it was like, the alien people that was involved in it was like quick. They were quick. They were, quick flashes, like when they was in the cantina and stuff like that. So I just want to see the progression of and learn a little bit more about the aliens, and I also want to see the progressions of, the progression of some of the different aliens, and just how the progressions of the CGI and the animation, or not animation, but the prosthetics that they're making for the aliens. I want to see how much better that they have became, even since, since the sequel trilogy. Because even in the sequel trilogy, other than Han and, a few characters, there wasn't a whole lot of aliens in there. I just think there should be more of the alien cultures in there. I want to learn more about the alien cultures. I want to see the canon version of how they depict these alien cultures more than we've got. Not to say that it was, that they haven't had, several, because Jaja was in most of the first one. But we see way more aliens in animation, and I would just like to see them more in live action.
Right.
I
think also, like, because it's hard to make these aliens look good in live action. So I think that's part of the reason we're not seeing so much, is because, like, plus people are complaining when it don't look good. Like, remember when we had Cad Bane.
Yeah,
We had
Cad Bane didn't look.
we had everybody was talking about like they look like shit. So I think it's more like they're
Cad Bane looked
scared.
great
They're
compared to the
scared.
pirate captain. That dude,
Right.
that motherfucker, he looked like a fucking green
Oh, he
Wookiee
looked
with fucked
terrible.
up thick hair. That shit
And
was terrible.
and
looking.
his voice was off, like it didn't match right. Like I think they're just like hesitant to add so many aliens because like it's really easy to like kind of screw them up or make them look funky. You know what I mean?
I don't really care though. I don't care if they look bad. I want to learn more about their cultures, and I really wish that they would do more about the cultures. I mean, we got
Right.
Grogu. I mean, Yoda was in a lot of. I mean, we've had a lot of aliens. I don't want to put it down like say we just haven't had a lot of. But I think Andor kind of gave me a bad taste because we got very few aliens in Andor, and I'm like, dude, we should have more aliens. Like,
That's
because
true.
I don't know, I like seeing aliens. I like to see how prosthetics have grown, how they've changed, how they become looking better. I mean, that green dude didn't look good at all, but you know what I'm saying? I like to see the especially when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, the prosthetics. Because, I mean, that shit looks, I just know how hard it is for them to do that, how much preparation that the actors go through, you know, to get that character. I mean, it's a lot of work, and you know that I would love to get some of the actors that play these parts on the show so they could describe it to us. You know, having to sit there for
Right.
8 hours to get these prosthetics put on, and you know, different stuff like that. Because you got to think. Remember when David told us, you know, it took him a few hours, and his wasn't even that. I mean,
It's
he just
tough.
got some head tendrils and, you know what I'm saying, some makeup put on. Just imagine you're in a full prosthetic,
Yeah.
like your full body prosthetic, and that's just crazy.
Right. So I can see it.
A veggie version of Pizza the Hut. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It was just, yeah, it was terrible. And then the other thing I had was Ahsoka season 1 new villain details revealed rumors. Now this is a rumor. This isn't really news, but Grand Admiral Thrawn was previously believed to be the main villain in the up-and-coming Ahsoka series. It is already confirmed that Ezra Bridger will be on a focus of the show, and their rescue from the unknown region will serve as their main conflict. Morgan Elizabeth, who appeared in The Mandalorian, was revealed to be a major tie to Thrawn, and it was reported at one time that she would be returning in Ahsoka in some capacity. Well, now there's things saying that she'll probably be the main antagonist in the thing. She'll be the main antagonist in Ahsoka. So she's basically going to be. What I'm thinking is that it might be a thing where she shows up and she's trying to keep Ahsoka from being able to find Thrawn. You know what I'm saying?
Who is this again? I'm sorry.
The chick, the one that the Mandalorian got the spear from, or that
Okay, yes,
Ahsoka
yes,
got the
yes.
spear from,
Right.
Morgan Elizabeth. That she'll be the main antagonist in the thing. Plus, they said there might be a couple more main antagonists in the show as it jumps from planet to planet.
I don't know. I don't know if we need the Ahsoka show. We already know it's all going to go to tie in somehow with why
Well, it has
Palpatine
to
is
tie in.
alive.
Well, you got to, and see, this is something else that I want to figure out where the tie-in comes with, because Thrawn is supposed to be the tie-in to the First Order. Thrawn is supposed to be who creates the First Order, so we know Thrawn is coming back. I just want to know how Thrawn did Snoke kill Thrawn, or did Thrawn go back into hiding because he knew what was going to happen because Palpatine was coming back, and Palpatine always has him on the outer rim because Palpatine don't like aliens. You know, what's going to happen? I want to know where that tie-in is at. And I think Ahsoka's going to tie us in more into the starting of the First Order. Because we know the Force Order come. Disney's not getting rid of the First Order. So we know that it has to tie in somehow. And the sequence is Thrawn is the one that ties into the First Order. He's the creator of the First Order. So we know, and I think that in the Ahsoka series, I think that we're going to see, oh man, what can I think of his damn name? My brain is just not working. What's his face for Mandalorian, the bad guy in the Mandalorian? We know that he's working for Thrawn. That was kind of...
Or Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon. There was references to Thrawn in The Mandalorian. So we know that Moff Gideon's working for Thrawn. Thrawn is starting the First Order. We know all these is going to come to pass, but I want to know what happens to Thrawn. That's my big thing that I want to know. What happens to Thrawn after he's discovered, after he starts the First Order? Does, the Snoke kill him? Does, Palpatine tell him to go away? Does, what happens? I want to know what happens. So, and Ahsoka's supposed to lead us up to the First Order. So, that's something that I want to see. Because we already know that there's more, that there's going to be more than one season. Dave Filoni has already said that there's going to be more than one season of Ahsoka. So we know that these things is leading up to this point. Now, is it going to take...
How high are your hopes for Ahsoka?
Ahsoka's one of my favorite characters. So Ahsoka's like my child. I watched her grow up through the Clone Wars, through Rebels, and now for her to have her own series, I have very high expectations. And I have high expectations because this is Dave Filoni's baby right here. Like, this is definitely his daughter. He created Ahsoka. He's always had a special place in his heart for Ahsoka. And I don't think Dave Filoni's going to allow it to suck. I do not think that he's allowed it to suck. From my understanding, he wrote most of the scripts for it, and he overseen everything that was written for it. He was there. He directed everything, or maybe not directed because they have multiple directors. But
I guess
he overseen everything.
Yeah.
So, and Dave is not really ever let us down. It's always, when it comes to crazy shit, it's John. John is the one that does that outlandish shit and wants to change shit and create shit in his own image. And
I guess where I'm a little bit worried is like it's pretty obvious at this point everything they're doing is trying to tie in with the Skywalker saga, or with the sequels, and I don't like the sequels, right? So I think the fact that you're already tied to that and married to that, like what.
You can still tell a good story within it. You can still tell a good story.
If we all know where it's going, what's the point of the story? If we all know where,
if you're
married to this one thing, that people don't like,
well, you don't like it. The poll showed that more people like the sequel trilogy than dislike it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what the poll showed. So of course, but the stories that they can tell leading up to there will kind of explain and set things in motions for the sequel trilogy to make more sense. Even though I don't know what they could do to fix it, but I think that leading up to it is an interesting story because, in all reality, the Mandalorian's leading up to that. These things are happening. And we got to think about it. When we come into the sequel trilogy, the First Order's already in power. They're kicking the shit
right
out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So basically the New Republic is falling. The rebels have started back up again.
The New Republic sucks.
You know what I'm saying? They pretty much have fallen. The First Order is in control of the galaxy. Snoke is controlling shit. Kylo Ren's wreaking havoc. They built this giant planet that blew up the New Republic. So we came into this point. So there's so much in between, the Death Star or the Return of the Jedi to there that they're telling now. And I think there's a lot of good stories, and it's a lot of time that passes between there. You got to figure Kylo's in the first one, he's already in his 20s or shit, maybe older than that. At that point, I never looked it up to find out because I didn't care enough to look it up. But, there's a lot of time that have passed because you got to figure to get it. They got to get everything started up. Then, Leia and Han get married and they have Ben and, the Jedi temple's being built. All these things that we've seen in Mandalorian are leading up to that point anyway. And I would like to see the story that's in between there. Now, Sal, some of them been just pointless because you got to think they're filling in.
For me, it's
both of the time periods that they're working on.
I really don't care.
Both of the time periods that they're working on is in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and Revenge of the Jedi and the The Force Awakens. That's the 2 time periods that they're working on right now. Because you got Andor. What's the point of Andor if we're just going to... We already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but that's like a story that's good.
Yeah, but... You know what I'm saying? They're telling you stories like Kenobi's part. Like that. I think they could have left that out or made it way better. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, Book of Boba Fett's part. Like they could have left that out and, you know, or made it way better. But they're just telling stories within this time period. And they're connecting all these stories to where this... I think there's going to be some big battle at the end where they kind of like take all these shows to. Like they take like all the shows to this big battle and the First Order wins. And that's what starts. That's where then we'll have like a time period between the First Order and when the Force Awakens happens. And it'll just be mostly about being in the First Order and them taking over everything. But I think at some point they're all going to converge. All the Mandalorian, they're building up all the Mandalorians because they're going to fight in this battle. And then you have Ahsoka and you have Luke and you have everything. It's leading up to this point, you know, that's going to all converge into one thing, right? And I think it's going to be a battle that has to do with the First Order. That's my prediction. That it's going to all come to a head at the battle of...
It's going to be Infinity War.
Yeah, basically. I think that's what they're pushing towards, like a big battle that got all the Mandalorians, Ahsoka, Luke, you know, the New Republic, all these people fighting against the First Order. And then that will be the beginning of where the sequel trilogy starts. Which we kind of know. They've kind of said that. You know what I'm saying? That there's going to be a convergence. Dave has already said it. John has already said that there's going to be a convergence where all these stories combine to one thing. And it might be a season of, you know what I'm saying, a whole different thing that we're not even expecting. The Acolyte is like the only one that's like going back in time. You know what I'm saying? The Acolyte's going back before... A New Hope, or before the Phantom Menace. So all the rest of them is basically working towards this ultimate goal. We're working up to A New Hope. Everything that happened between that 20 years, because fans wanted that. That's what fans wanted. We wanted to know what happened, you know, in the 20 years after Revenge of the Sith to New Hope. We wanted to know what happened. So they're telling them stories. We wanted to know what happened between the Return of the Jedi and the Phantom and the Rise of Skywalker, the Force Awakens. We wanted to know these things. This is what fans wanted to know. I wanted to know, like, dude, 20 years went by. Didn't nobody do shit in 20 years? Right. You know what I'm saying? They just all sit back and just let it happen. What the hell was people doing? I want to know. So I think it's a good thing that they're doing that. Now, do I always agree with the way that they're doing it? No. Because I don't see... I mean, I'm pretty sure Boba Fett's going to be there. And, you know, it's going to be like basically an Infinity Wars or a Endgame type of thing to where the First Order takes over. More or less like an Infinity War, because you got to think of Infinity War is basically where, you know, where he snaps his fingers and then it's done. You know what I'm saying? Half of everybody in the galaxy dies. So I think that's where it's going to lead up to. But I also have a feeling that when that happens, that's when a lot of these characters will die. I think they're going to kill off all the characters at one time. I think Ahsoka will go, Ezra will go, you know what I'm saying, Mandalorian. They'll just kill all the Mandalorians because we don't see none of the Mandalorians in the last 3 movies, so all the Mandalorians is destroyed. You know, it'll be like the First Order just comes in and wipes everybody out. And now they have to rebuild and the Force has to awaken and move into the final. And then hopefully, just hopefully, they don't keep trying to go after that. They just let it be done. At the Rise of Skywalker, go back in time, do the Old Republic, the High Republic, do something else. Don't start over again. Which kind of, because there's a lot of stuff about Rey, you know, Daisy Ridley's been in a lot of news articles, and now we got Finn in a lot of news articles. A lot of stuff is being, I'm like, dude, are they coming back? Are they going to do another movie? Please don't do this. Please don't do this to us. We don't want another sequel trilogy.
Yeah, and that's what makes me just not like, oh, man, I don't know.
But, you know, they did it before.
Yep.
So, did you have any new?
I did have one thing. So we're talking about Jodie Turner-Smith. she kind of gave. They were talking about her upcoming role in The Acolyte. All good things so far, but the one little clue that she did drop is they asked, like, hey, does your character have a lightsaber? And she goes, I didn't get to use a lightsaber, but I did get to use, and then she cut herself off. She's like, but I did get to not use a lightsaber. And so she said the exact same thing again. So it sounded like she was about to say something.
Maybe the Force.
But yeah, I don't know. She's like, I didn't get to use a lightsaber, but I did get to not get to use a lightsaber because I'm not a Jedi. So
But
she's not a Jedi, but
she could be a Padawan, or she could be
like the fact that she would say, like, I did I did something
like we had that whole episode. The Acolyte might be about Sith acolytes, and Sith acolytes are not necessarily Sith. You know what I'm saying?
Follow the Sith.
They just follow the Sith's teachings. You know what I'm saying? They might not be Force users, because all them people that was in that place where Palpatine at the end of the Rise of Skywalker were all Sith acolytes.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying? And they because if they could use the Force, they could have jumped out there and helped Palpatine before he got killed, and they didn't do nothing except run and die. You know what I'm saying? So Sith acolyte, is called the Acolyte. So she could be an acolyte, or she could be Force sensitive and be a Padawan. We don't know. We won't know until it comes out, which I'm excited to see the Acolyte. That's the two things that I'm most excited to see is the Acolyte. And Ahsoka. That's
Andor season 2.
Andor season 2 I'm pretty excited about seeing, but I just have
That's my favorite thing right now. That's my favorite thing that Disney's made recently. Just with this, like, I'm not super pumped with this season of Mandalorian quite yet. And so Andor season 2 is like Andor has been my favorite recent.
And it's coming out in 2026.
Right.
They'll probably do some jacked up shit like that. That's some Disney shit. Okay.
Bro, I'm really excited for the Star Wars video game if that ever comes out on Ubisoft, because god damn, I'm hearing some great things. But
yeah. All right, so we're gonna do some quizzes, you guys, in the chat. Pick y'all's things too. We're gonna do this kind of slow so everybody can pick their Dark God Humpiner. HP for nerve. I can't say
Dark God HP Runner.
HPF runner. If I'm fucking your name up, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. All right, so let's go ahead on. I'm gonna move this over so everybody can see everything.
Let's do it. Wow, I have a headache.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Like, dude, I need to eat something. I haven't ate shit. All right. So we're gonna let everybody. We're gonna pick the ones, and then we're gonna let everybody do each question. We're gonna do this as a group. All right. So which one do y'all want to do first? We got which member of the Bad Batch are you? Which Star Wars character is your
soulmate? Soulmate.
All right, let's do soulmate. Take quiz. All right.
Are you going first, or are we doing this together?
We can do it separate and then let the chat do it.
Okay. Is this for me, or is this what do I want?
Yeah. Which do you think makes an ideal Valentine's Day
So
gift?
am I giving the gift, or am I getting the gift?
I don't know. They don't say that in the question. It just says pick a Valentine. Which one makes the ideal Valentine?
That's tough because, like, for me, like, I would just want a jacket, but like, I'm not gonna give my soulmate. I'm not gonna give Addison a jacket for Valentine's Day because she's not gonna like that.
Well, this is what Anakin gave to his girl. So go off of that. What are you gonna give your girl?
Probably jewelry. I mean, out of those 4.
What gift would you actually get?
Oh, so it was supposed to be me.
No, you're getting it for your soulmate.
What gift would you actually get from your soulmate?
Oh, from your soulmate. Okay.
What's couture? What's COUTUR? I don't know what that means.
Couture?
Yeah, what's couture?
It's an expensive ass jacket. I don't know. Shit, I don't know what couture is. I'm pretty sure it's a brand. It's probably expensive as shit because I ain't never heard of it. I mean, I've
Oh
heard of
yeah,
it,
it's like
but I don't.
the design and manufacture of fashionable clothes to a client's specific requirements and measurements. Oh yeah, that's what I want. I want the jacket. Let's plan a perfect date. Where should you take your soulmate? Dude, Naboo. Is that even a question? What type of venue are you heading to? I mean, Cantina or Meadow? Hello? I can't hear you.
My bad. I
There
muted
you
my
go.
mic. Okay, so Dark God said, "Can I have a quick recap of the podcast?" So the first part we basically gave our who we think would be like the best people to be on Mount Rushmore if we could replace
Star
them with
Wars.
Star Wars characters.
Nope.
Then we went through that. Then we did kind of like we kind of did our own personal people. Then we went through our who
Most
we really thought should
influential.
be the most
Yeah.
influential people. Then we just kind of
Got on a
went on a-
tangent
got on a
about
tangent
actual
about
presidents.
about presidents and what the purpose of America is and different things like that.
About Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Then we went into like a history lesson for a minute about the Civil War. Then we jumped over to back to Star Wars. We did a what if question on what would happen if Palpatine could fly, and when Darth Vader threw him over the edge, if he just flew right back out, could Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker beat him, or what would have happened? Then we went into some news and rumors. We talked about Dave Filoni being in the last episode of The Mandalorian, and now we're on we're just doing quiz. Usually we do the impossible quiz right now, but since it was just the two of us, and I didn't want to do it with just the chat because I have a whole show coming out about that here in the future. We decided to do some Star Wars quizzes and polls on StarWars.com, and that's where we're at.
Do it. All right. Are we going to a Cantina or Meadow? I say Med. I mean, if it's Valentine's Day, it's Meadow. Like, this is for my... Yeah. Steak, bro. What will you order for dinner? Steak, lobster, pasta, or burger? It's steak. Steak is the correct answer. What are you planning for dessert? Cake, ice cream, cookies, creme brulee. I mean, what would she like or what would I like?
Just what would you plan? If you were planning to order for both of y'all, what would y'all order?
I think it'd probably be ice cream out of those. Maybe
Ice
creme
cream.
brulee.
How will
Probably
you
ice
tell your
cream.
date that you love them?
I'll wait for them to say it, then say I know. Yeah, right. Like Addison's going to say it first. I'll just kidding. I'll take
You
him on
about
a
to get-
picnic. We'll form a Sith partnership. I'll nod and say this is the way. Jeez, all these are terrible. None of those.
You got to pick one.
I mean, the one that she'll like the best is probably I'll take him on a picnic. What kind of fields would your soulmate work in? Management, education, politics, they're an entrepreneur. None. We'll just go management.
Star Wars team leader says my Wi-Fi is cutting out, so I'll say later all just in case. All right, later, man. We'll see guys. We'll see you on Wednesday if it cuts out.
What kind of ship would your soulmate fly? Star Destroyer, X-Wing, hunk of junk, N1 Starfighter. What would you fly? N1, that's the one Anakin flies in episode 1. X-Wing, you know what an X-Wing is. A Star Destroyer, which is like the giant. Yeah, probably Star Destroyer.
Damn. I ain't supposed to ask her.
Well, if everything goes well, how you propose to your date? During a lightning storm, at the beach, on a camping trip, overlooking a lake. Overlooking a lake, that's easy.
Your soulmate
Yes!
is Padme.
Yes! I win! I win!
Okay. What do you think is an ideal Valentine's Day for your
I got Padme. I win. You're getting your. Well, who are you getting your date? What are you getting your date?
I would say a mug.
You're getting her a mug?
My wife's not really into jewelry. Very
Oh, okay.
collectible. Well, a
That makes
jacket.
sense.
She likes clothes.
Oh, that works.
What gift would you actually get from your soulmate?
A
What would
lava
I get?
lamp. A lava lamp. Yeah, what would you get? What would she give
Chain
you?
mail. That's what I would get. That's what my wife sends me shit every damn day. Let's plan a perfect date. Where should you take your soulmate?
Exegol.
I'll take her to Tatooine.
Yeesh.
Once you land, what type of venue are you heading to? A cantina.
Dun, 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 dun,
Trying to get her drunk.
What will you order for dinner?
A steak.
That's right. That's the only right answer.
Yeah. Planning a dessert. Probably cookies. We both
I
like
like
cookies.
cookies.
How will you tell your date that you love them?
I'll just wait for them to say it. No.
Because I do that anyway. What kind of field would your soulmate work in? Management. Nah. Education. Nah. Politics. Nah. Entrepreneur. Nah.
I was like, none of them.
Like my wife is definitely not going to be an entrepreneur. She don't like to do shit.
She don't like to do shit.
Not anything creative, like being, you got to be creative to be an entrepreneur. She's just not into that. Politics, she don't like politics. I'd have to say education. What would she fly? I'd say M1 Starfighter. During a lightning storm at the beach on a
How
camping
will you
trip overlooking the lake.
propose? How will
I'd
you
say at the
propose?
beach. If everything goes right, well, how would you propose?
The whole fucking planet is a beach on Tatooine. You're all
Yeah.
good.
Oh, damn.
I
Oh,
win.
damn.
You got Mando. I got flipping Padme.
That was terrible.
Hell
Fuck this
yeah.
quiz.
Hey, I'm
All
pumped. I got Padme.
What's the next one you want to do?
Which
Let's do this one. Which Star Wars couple are you and your partner?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Anakin and Padme. Fingers crossed.
Okay. How did you and your partner meet?
Fuck. Online.
You really met online?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I didn't think that really happened.
No, it happened. We were both not expecting it. We were just like, hey, we're just looking for friends, whatever. Ended up clicking hard, and yeah, rest is history. Pick a date night accessory. What am I wearing? None. Jesus. Give me a flipping cape. I'm gonna rock up in a cape. Yes. Where in the Star Wars galaxy would you like to spend your anniversary? Dude, Naboo. Not even a question. Pick a date night activity.
Watch a movie, a romantic picnic, listening to music, playing a game.
I mean, I'm keen for watching a movie, but it'd probably be a picnic. If I'm trying. What kind of food is your favorite to share? My favorite or like our favorite?
Like, well, it says your favorite to share. So
it's sushi, dude. We're always getting sushi. How would you describe your partner? Headstrong, hopeful,
furry, or strong?
Definitely not furry. No, I'd probably say hopeful. How would your
partner describe you? Scruffy looking, wise, breathtaking, stubborn.
Would you describe me as scruffy looking, wise, breathtaking, or stubborn? That's what I thought. It's breathtaking or stubborn, to be honest. We'll go breathtaking. I'll be cocky. What did you do last Valentine's Day? Celebrate alone, started a fight, went to the theater, planned a nice dinner. We actually went to a concert. We'll do plan a nice dinner. We'll do that. Or I guess theater would have been closest. Whatever. What's your ideal Valentine's Day gift? For me or for her?
I don't know. Shit.
Let's go jewelry. Whatever. What is your love language?
Act of service, receiving a gift, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation.
Words or physical touch, to be honest.
So which one?
Which one you reckon, babe? We'll go words. Words of affirmation. God damn it! Fuck!
All right,
That's the worst couple ever.
How did your partners meet?
Ray.
What the hell is this?
How did you and your partner meet? Serendipity.
What the hell is that?
Serendipity is like
Girlfriend.
like kind of
Basic
like chance. Like shit just happens.
I'm going to Canto Bike. Pick a date night activity. Watch a movie, a romantic picnic, listen to music, watch a movie. I already know. What kind of food is your favorite to share? Pizza. How would you describe your partner? Strong. How would your partner describe you? Wise. You're always calling me a wise ass, so I guess I'm wise.
That's close enough, right?
What did you do the last Valentine's Day? Celebrate alone, started a fight, picnic and a nice dinner, went to the theater. I think we went to a theater. Actually, I think we sat home and watched a movie and ate pizza. What's your ideal Valentine's Day gift? Clothing. Wife. What is your love language? Acts of service.
That's Addison's. Oh, you lucky motherfucker.
I get hair. Shit. I get hair. Oh, shit. What the hell?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. Ray's pretty hot, so.
Go back. How the hell you get off of here?
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
One more?
Rich Rogue One character, which Star Wars video game should you play right now? No, because I don't play video games. Which Obi-Wan Kenobi? Which Star Wars character most like your mom?
Which Star Wars hero are you?
I'm not no hero.
Yeah, I know
right,
you're Sith.
I'll go first this time. Pick your favorite film genre. Horror. So we got horror, western, musical, and comedy. Horror. Who is the scariest Star Wars villain? Darth Vader. If you could travel to a galaxy far, far away, where would you go first? Tatooine, Batuu, Takodana, or Navarro? I want to go to Navarro.
Which one's
original
Navarro?
Navarro or like
Which
Navarro
one's Navarro?
Now? Navarro is where Creep Garga is at.
Oh, that's right. That's right. What's Batu and Takodana? I don't even know most of these.
Batuu is
see.
Batuu was the one where Kylo Ren cuts up the old dude in The Force Awakens. Takodana is, I don't know. I can't think of it right now. I'm going to Tatooine. Tatooine just seems like a fun place. There's always something going on. Pick your favorite music genre. Rock, country, punk, or classical. Ain't none of them my favorite.
Yeesh.
Like, I have to go with rock out of all of them ones. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of that, what's that dude name? Dane King or Bane King or whatever his name is.
I don't know.
Kind of like that dude. That dude.
You're picking country? Bro, that's the last one I would have expected from you.
I don't know. There's a lot of country songs that's out right now that's pretty dope.
I like country, but you don't seem like a country guy. I'm surprised.
No, me personally, I listen to 90s rap, but it's not up here. Rap ain't even up here at all. I'm going to go with rock because I listen to a lot of rock. But I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of country too. Classical, I listen to
country.
classical. I don't listen to no punk. I don't listen.
I'm
to
between country and rock, to be honest. I don't know which one I would choose.
I like it. Depends on my on my mood though.
Yeah,
like
big
classical.
time. Big time.
Like if I'm going to sleep, I can put on some classical music and it helps me sleep. Rock. If I'm working, I listen to rock. If I'm just chilling,
Yeah,
I don't know
if I'm
whatever
working
that
out,
King
it's
dude
rock.
is. I don't know. I like some of his songs. That one song that him and his wife do together. That's a dope song. Actually, it's my ringtone for me and my wife now. I'm gonna go with rock. If you had a lightsaber, what color would it be? Purple.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because that's the closest thing to red. What's your greatest strength? Fortitude, brawn, patience, mindfulness. I have to say patience. I'm a very patient person.
Jeez, wow, okay.
Man, I got 4 kids and 3 grandkids. You have to be patient. That's what kids teach you, patience. What quote best represents you? Laugh it up, fuzzball. We're not making one great. Wars make
None of
not
these.
make one great.
This one's
You
tough.
can't stop the change any more than you can stop the sun from setting. I'm in charge now, Phasma. I'm in charge. Yeah, that sucks, man. I don't none of those.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
This one, war not make one great. Probably have to say that one because it seems like the one that I always do inspirational quotes. That seems like an inspirational quote. I'm always saying some inspirational shit. Especially when I'm at work, I do it a lot, and on my other podcast. So I'm picking that one.
All right.
If you could team up with a Star Wars character for an adventure, who would you choose? R2D2, Chewbacca, BB-8, or Grogu? I wouldn't choose none of them. I'm picking Chewbacca, just because Chewbacca can whoop some ass. BB-8 and R2D2, they just get on my damn nerves with all that beeping and shit.
Yeah,
Grogu
definitely
can't
not
talk
Grogu.
Yet.
I'm not about to babysit some kid.
Yeah. What would you name as your biggest flaw? Caring too much, reluctance to join group activities, hatred of sand, or fear? Shit.
None of them.
I'm not scared of shit because it doesn't matter. We're all dying one day anyway. Hatred of sand. I kind of like sand. Reluctant to join group activities. Yeah, I just real reluctant to join group activities, even though we do a podcast twice a week with a group of people.
This is a weird quiz. Fuck this one.
Caring too much. I do care a lot. I get screwed over a lot because I be doing a lot for people that end up screwing me over in the long run. If you discovered you could use the Force, what would you do first? Lift some rocks, try a Jedi mind trick, build a lightsaber, levitate. Try a Jedi mind trick on my wife. Oh, God. Sacculus B. Crumb. Oh. That's messed up. Like, out of all the characters, I had to be this little.
Yeah, that sucks ass.
Dude, that's bad. Okay.
It said, just kidding. Happy April Fools.
Yeah.
I feel like this is an April Fool's quiz. Fuck. Western. Favorite film genre. Scary Star Wars villain. Go down. Who's the scariest? Probably Palpatine. Darth Vader's just awesome. If you could travel to the galaxy far, far away, where'd you go first? I don't know. Probably Navarro. Pick a favorite music genre. We'll go country. Purple, lightsaber. What's your greatest strength? None. I'm just kidding. Sure. Not really, but sure.
You live in the gym. What are you talking
That's
about?
true. I go to the gym a lot, but I'm not that big. I'm not as big as I want to be, at least. What quote best represents you? Probably wars not make one great, because the other ones don't fit.
You could team up with a Star Wars character for an adventure. Who would you choose?
I mean, probably
It's either got to be out of these two. BB-8 that dude just rolls around. Grogu,
probably
you'd have
Chewbacca.
to babysit.
Probably Chewbacca. What would you name as your biggest flaw? Probably caring too much. Like, I would lift some rocks if I could use the Force. Like, that's the first thing I would try. I would lift something.
I'm using a Jedi mind trick on my wife. Yeah, we're the same.
I got it. Yeah, it's a April Fool's bullshit.
A monkey lizard. We're both monkey lizards. Oh, I said, just kidding. Happy April Fool's Day.
That's what I
on
said.
Star Wars team. You're the true hero of the Star Wars galaxy.
Yes.
Stand down. Step aside. Then, oh man, like why would it? I wonder if all of these have been that.
It is.
I haven't even been reading them because I'm like, dude, what?
No, this one was. The other ones weren't, but this one was because it was posted today.
All right, one more and then we're done. I gotta go eat something.
All right.
I
thought that was the last one.
Are we gonna be done now? That could be the last one.
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to do one more or be done?
I say be done. I thought that was the last one.
All right. Let me stop sharing there. Stop sharing.
Well, we'll see y'all on Wednesday then for just Mandalorian this week. We're done with the Bad
we only
Batch.
got Mandalorian.
We're done with the
Only
Bad Batch.
Mandalorian.
Rip.
So here at LightSaber Radio, we love to thank out. Wait, what the hell am I reading? I'm on a whole different thing. I didn't even scroll down. Okay, I actually did a new outro. Well, thank you guys today for joining in for our Mount Rushmore Makeover, the Star Wars edition. We hope you enjoy seeing your favorite Star Wars characters carved into one of America's most iconic landmarks. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more exciting content. And until Wednesday, remember, stay outrageous and may the Force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you've enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. LightSaber Radio is produced by PicFilm Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Garrison Turcotte, CJ Elliott, and Kyle McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.